Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Louise Huber begins now.
Good evening, everyone. The scandal engulfing the state's housing minister has erupted into a barrage of finger-pointing between the Greens leader and the Premier. A shocking new letter leaked as Cassie O'Connor stands firm in her calls for Roger Yensch to resign.
The Premier with shades on as the Greens throw shade at his housing minister.
The Premier needs to take responsibility and sack his minister.
After feeling the pressure yesterday.
Minister, I've just got a couple of questions for you.
I thought
Are you going to resign?
No, I'm not going to resign.
Did you mislead Parliament
No, I
yesterday?
didn't. No, I didn't.
Roger Yensch today out of sight but not out of the firing line over claims he lied to Parliament after cabinet documents were mistakenly emailed to the Greens by a government staffer. Today the leaks kept flowing. Greens leader Cassie O'Connor releasing a staggering new letter sent to her by the Premier less than 24 hours ago, demanding she
provide those cabinet papers back to the government.
And herself apologise for the distress caused to the public servant at the centre of the saga.
They are blameless because if Minister Yensch had told the truth, we wouldn't have had to furnish the cabinet decision.
Peter GUTWEIN claims Miss O'Connor breached the Parliament's code by seizing on confidential documents for political point scoring.
Now, it's quite clear here that Miss O'Connor is using this for her own benefit.
The documents point to proposed changes to the residential tenancy laws, changes the housing minister said he knew nothing of.
I'm not aware of any changes proposed or undertaken.
His colleagues remaining loyal.
I'm absolutely 100% satisfied the Minister did not mislead Parliament, and we are 100% behind the Minister.
As his opponents say his number is up.
He is unfit to be a Minister of the Crown and he should resign.
Garth Burley, 7 Tasmania News.
And close to 110 pilot whales once beached at Macquarie Heads have now been released at sea. With that, though, comes a grim new reality that no live whales remain in the harbour, with experts concerned the hundreds of carcasses will attract predators.
Among the trauma of this natural catastrophe, these are the shining lights. 14 more whales today rescued and rushed out to sea, the total now 108.
It's a great effort. I just got to say that everybody is doing the very best that they could.
The Environment Department says there are now no live whales in the area. As for the almost 400 carcasses,
dead whales are thought to be actually a really key part of a shark's diet.
Shark experts believe the debris from the whales could attract a huge amount of predators.
The fats and the oils and things like that, which are going to carry quite large distances on the water surface.
The incident controller says there has been limited sightings so far, but admitted some volunteers had noticed one whale with bite marks. Tipipui is adamant if there's any safety concerns, the water will be off limits. But the fear is while the carcasses remain, so too does the shark threat.
If there's a whale carcass in the area, humans shouldn't be in the water.
As school holidays fever hits the state, the West Coast Mayor is confident the mass stranding will not affect local tourism. Accommodation throughout Strawn almost booked out over the next 2 weeks.
The cruise boats are still operating, the Wilderness Railway's going flat out. We're looking forward to an influx of Tasmanian visitors.
Garth Burley, 7 Tasmania News.
There's some good news for Tasmania tonight. After a year of major event cancellations, an iconic festival is returning, but in a different form. Monofoma is set to spread across the state this summer, adapting to COVID-19 restrictions.
It's a festival full of quirky acts and colourful expressions. Once based in Hobart, then moving to Launceston. Monofoma 2021 is set to liven up both major cities in January after a turbulent year.
It was kind of scary. We thought we might not be able to do it, but we're going to.
The usually extravagant event scaling back to many small venues to remain COVID safe.
I know the Premier and also the Mayor, they're like me, they like to get into the mosh pit, but there won't be a mosh pit this year. We'll just have to chill out and enjoy what we can.
It's absolutely fantastic to know that we will get an event. I know there are plenty of people in our city, right around Tasmania, that really want to get back and enjoy the events, enjoy the outdoors, which we can do in the summers.
following the cancellation of the Winter Dark Mofo Festival. It's hoped the summer statewide setup will allow more locals and potentially interstate visitors to enjoy Tasmania.
I think they will absolutely love it. I think it's such a brilliant way to reinvent the festival, spread it across the state. We expect people to travel between the two cities, to explore the regions, and also to spread that sort of cultural expression.
The festival will be hitting Launceston from the 15th to the 17th of January, then shifting to Hobart the following weekend. Ruby COMMANE, 7 Tasmania News.
Football and soccer finals are being played across the state this weekend, and for the first time this season, large crowds can gather to watch their beloved sport. Numbers have been boosted for outdoor events, with restrictions finally starting to ease.
Crowds flock to the sideline of this footy match. Some brave the elements, while others watch from their cars, as the game almost gets back to normal.
And it's better to have more people now too, but this is more like the old time footy where you got cars around the ground. It's good.
I think the atmosphere is wonderful. People think it's a country atmosphere. They can sit in their cars.
I was an ex-umpire, so I like to have a look at what's going on now.
With COVID-safe measures remaining, crowds have been increased to a maximum of 1,000 people at outdoor events, but the 1 person per 2 square metres still applies.
It's so important for community football as well, coming up with their finals as well, also with soccer as well, so it's great news for sporting communities across Tasmania.
Meanwhile, indoors, still capped at 250 people. A $20 million multi-sports facility development at the Derwent Entertainment Centre is now seeking tenders for the design and planning, with local codes eager to get their sport onto the new courts.
It will allow us to possibly bid for and get national and state games. It will raise the profile and continue to encourage participation for both female and male volleyballers in Tasmania.
Give us a venue to host both state and national championships at this venue, which is critical and important to bring that into the state. Give Tassie in some respects a home court advantage when our teams represent.
Ruby COMMANE, 7 Tasmania News.
In the TSL, the chances of the Tigers reaching the finals has suffered a blow after going down to North Launceston by 56 points this afternoon. At Richmond, an inaccurate Launceston stormed home in the final quarter to defeat Clarence, while at Twin Ovals, a 5-1 third quarter saw the Northern Bombers break their game open on the way to a big win.
The Tigers' finals chances were in the balance, with Tassie footy's toughest test standing between them and a potential spot in the top 4. In swirly conditions, they dominated parts of the first quarter, but both teams could only muster a major each in the quarter. Kingborough had their chances, but were wasteful in front of goal. The Northern Bombers punishing them, kicking 3-0 in the second term, to lead by 15 at the main change. Taylor Whitford showing everyone how it's done in the wind. The game breaking open in the third quarter. North Launceston taking control in a blitz, piling on 5-1 to take a commanding 40-point lead into the final quarter. That lead grew in the fourth as their midfield overwhelmed the Tigers on their way to a 56-point win, North denting Kingborough's finals footy chances. At Richmond, Clarence's finals ambitions were also up for scrutiny against Launceston. The visitors starting strong, kicking 2-1 in the first term, leading by 8 points at the first change. Clarence kicked the only goal of the second term, but the Blues held a 6-point lead at half-time. The Roos finally hitting the front in the third quarter. They kicked 2 goals, while Launceston struggled with accuracy, going goalless in the second and third terms. But there would be no repeat of their meeting at Windsor Park earlier in the year. The Blues finding their goal-scoring boots in the fourth, a 4-1 behind term securing them the 4 points. John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
In the NTFA, Deloraine Kangaroos have created history, defeating Rochelle to win their first senior premiership. In wild and windy conditions, it was a tight first half with the Roos leading by 8 points at half-time. Deloraine extending that lead in the third quarter, keeping Rochelle scoreless to lead by 3 goals at the final change. A 4-1 final term sealing the win on their home turf, with the Sirens sparking emotional celebrations. Rose ruckman Jared Scott was named man of the match. Fremantle has delisted former Kingborough footballer Hugh Dixon. The Dockers selected the Tigers forward with pick 44 in the 2017 AFL draft. In his 3 seasons on the list, he played just the 1 game against Port Adelaide in round 23 last year, kicking a goal. Dixon was one of 4 cut by the club. Stuart McSwain's blistering form has continued in the latest Diamond League athletics meet in Qatar, breaking another Australian record. He stormed out of the blocks in the 1500-metre race, leading by around 30 metres heading into the final lap. The King Island runner blitzing the field on his way to another win.
Gritting his teeth, fighting for this. Can he get close to the Australian record? He's not going to be too far away. A few yards to go. McSwain is going to take the win, and he's done it. 3:30.52. What a last 300 metres.
McSwain finished in just over 3.5 minutes. He holds national records in the 1500, 3000 and 10,000 metre events. The Northern Hawks are through to the Tasmania Netball League Grand Final after a big win over Cripps Waratah at the Silverdome this afternoon. The first half was a seesawing contest, with the Hawks leading by just 2 goals at the main break. Leading by 10 with a quarter to go, the home side piled on 22 goals to 10 in the fourth, cruising to a 71-49 win. Tasmanian horse Mystic Journey has roared back into form, winning the Group 2 stock stakes at Moonee Valley last night. The Adam Trinder-trained horse was at one stage 4 wide on the back straight, but with 300 metres to go, she made her move, sweeping past the field on her way to a win.
Go, Betty, go. She's going after Perfect Jill. The champ from Tasmania has hit the lead for Luke Currie. It's Mystic Journey in front. She's just the leader and wins it.
She was up on her toes and jumped really well and just gave me a perfect ride.
Mystic Journey paid $6.20 for the win.
Good evening. Edison on the east coast was the warmest in the state today, reaching 17 degrees. 13 in Hobart, Launceston 15 degrees and 14 in Burnie and Devonport. 16 the High St Helens and Friendly Beaches. Strawn, Bushy Park, Lowhead and the Bass Strait Islands reached 13. 12 degrees in Maria Island. Grove reached 11 and 5 in Liaweenie. Low-level clouds streamed over Tasmania today from the southwest. Clouds spiralling into a low-pressure system can be seen over the Tasman Sea. Cold cloud is streaming over southeast Australia. Tomorrow shows a broad area of high pressure over the southeast of the country, with a high over New South Wales extending a ridge over central Australia and Queensland. On the waters, southwesterlies at 10 to 20 knots in the northwest, reaching 20 to 30 knots in the east and south. Swells up to 5 metres in the west and south. A strong wind warning for eastern and southern coastal waters from the tip of Flinders Island to Low Rocky Point, and also for Storm Bay and the Channel. A bushwalkers alert for snow to as low as 400 metres over the western and central plateau districts. A warning to sheep graziers in the south and east, and a frost warning for the northwest, central north, northeast and Midlands. Tomorrow's forecast now: Hobart 13 and cloudy, 13 also in Richmond and 12 in Ouse. Partly cloudy in Launceston tomorrow, mostly sunny and 14 degrees in Devonport and 12 in Deloraine. Burnie 14 and partly cloudy, showers in Strawn and Currie cloudy and a top of 12. 15 for St Helens, Swansea cloudy and 13 for Whitemark. On Monday, light showers in the west and far south, fine elsewhere. Light showers in the north, clearing during the morning on Tuesday, and evening showers for the northwest. And more showers in the north and west on Wednesday, extending statewide during the morning. Around the country tomorrow, showers for Perth, 18 in Adelaide and Sydney, sunny in Brisbane and 26, Melbourne 14, a possible morning shower, and Darwin a top of 34 degrees. And it's currently 6 degrees in Hobart, mostly cloudy, Launceston 9 and Devonport 8 and mostly clear. And that's all in weather tonight, Lou.
Lovely, thanks for that, Letitia. And that's all your news for this Saturday evening. Have a nice night. Thanks for joining us. See you tomorrow. Good night.